He weighs in at 79.3 kilos with a record of 2 wins and 6 losses. Please give it up for Dylan Heavy Hands Wright!
The height and reach advantage tonight for Dylan Wright over John Parker.
Tonight, the 28-year-old fighting out of Team Parker with a record of 8 fights for 8 wins. Also weighing in at 79.3. Big world champion brothers in the house tonight, Joseph Parker, but tonight it's all about John Parker!
Yes, Joseph Parker in the house, and of course, all eyes toward that fight against Joe Joyce. When that will be, who knows, but at the moment it's his brother John
to the center of the ring.
On Podis Fight Night, brought to you by Culture Kings. It's Parker v. Wright.
Podis, come in. Come on, guys, come in. All right, guys, first of all, you both must be able to protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my instructions. When I call a break, stop throwing, step away from each other before you start again. Belt line great here, belt line's fine here. Shake gloves, fighters, shake gloves.
Wins tonight, Hayward over Ismail, Helg over Bashir. And there he is, the former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Joseph Parker. And that fight against Joe Joyce will effectively be an eliminator for that fight, the mandatory challenger against Alexander Usyk at some point in the future. Now, here we go, this should be a cracker. Dylan Heavy Hands Wright against John Parker. 6 3-minute rounds.
Now what we've just seen there is quite typical of Dylan Wright. He is good at counter-punching his opponents, especially if you've got a reckless person coming in. He's good at making people pay for that.
Hands down from Heavy Hands at the moment, trying to find the jab as Parker.
Yeah, he does employ that loose sort of guarded style to invite the punches in as he looks for those counter-punches. This is their second meeting, so John is well aware of that tactic that Dylan is looking to use.
Debut for John Parker back in 2016 against Ratu Dawa. He's come a long way since then. 8-0, 3 KOs for the man in the black trunks with gold trim.
Very patient start from both lads. This is a 6th rounder. This is 2 rounds more than their previous fight, which ended in that majority decision.
Oh, just touched him on the nose there, right. And Parker with the jab, trying to invite him in.
And that is quite smart from John, letting Dylan sometimes initiate. You know, Dylan is strong off the back foot and countering, but John's inviting him in.
He's felt a couple from John Parker, has Dylan Wright, but not put off at the moment, goes to the body. A patient first round for both of these fighters. First of 6.
I'm sure it won't take long before they start opening up.
Wild left from Dylan right there. Parker manages to avoid it. Follows up the left, and now they start to unleash a couple of combinations.
And you can see there, he's good on those counter punches. He's quite accurate in the heat of exchanges. Dylan can land good shots. He's accurate in the pocket.
Parker, wild left. Dylan, some good head movement at the moment, getting out of the way of those big power shots from John Parker that we know he has.
And they are power shots, you're right. I like what John's doing there though with the jab. He's pouring it out. He's not committing to too much. He's not committing to too much of his shots, and if he does overcommit, that's where it's going to be dangerous.
That one in the books. What did you make of that first up effort as Joe looks on?
very quiet first round, but I really did like the work from Dylan. He threw more shots. I believe he landed the cleaner punches, but a very slow first round. The first one's always a feel out. They got 2 more rounds from the last time, so adjusting the pace to fit their longer distance.
This fight, the 4th fight of Podis Fight Night, Tamaki Makaurau Auckland War Memorial Museum tonight, brought to you by Staff for You. We thank the sponsors, Duval Group, Green Soda, and of course Podis. Nick Randall and the team. And liking what he's seeing, liking the beats, Joseph Parker. Great to see him back in New Zealand. And as we said before the fight, Chad, it's going to be fascinating to see what happens next with Joe Parker.
Yeah, that fight with Joe Joyce it's an interesting matchup, a tough fight. Joe Joyce is a machine. He's a machine, but what he is lacking a little bit in the technical boxing, but he makes up for in physically just being a beast. He's 6'6". He's got heavy hands and an engine that just doesn't stop. He is the juggernaut Joyce.
His brother at the moment just trying to connect it against the head of Dylan Wright here. There is an interesting style, just inviting Parker in. And as Chad pointed out, he's got a good counterpunch on him, Wright.
Just like that, he's quick to fire off those shots from John. He's quick to just come back, especially coming to the body. I like that he mixes it up and down. That elusive style, and you know, some people say hands down. Why does he have his hands down? But that allows him to be able to move that head easily. It makes him a smaller target up top, and I think it's working well for him early in this fight.
He's got a good read on the range, Dylan Wright, staying out of trouble, using his footwork nicely here.
He looks really focused for this fight.
Both of these fighters know plenty about each other, having, of course, fought last week. Parker on that occasion with the win.
And it does make it a bit tough for John. You know, he was the winner, so the ball's in Dylan's court. You know, what's he going to change? Does John have to change anything? Dylan has come back. He's starting well. We'll see over the 6 rounds. Is there anything else in the game plan that might unfold?
Not afraid to keep the hands down, Dylan Wright, but certainly when he gets within range can use them. And starting to find a few shots here.
Nice right hand. Very measured fight, this very measured fight. That's what you want to see a bit more from John. He's got to let those heavy hands go.
Trying the combinations, Dylan Wright, Parker in close quarters here. I feel if one of these guys can land a good range, both possess the power to put each other down.
A big right hand there from John. Should keep behind that jab and work off that jab he was using earlier. Perhaps sensing a bit of urgency from the punches connecting of Dylan Wright.
Big attempt at the left hook again from Parker. Final 10 seconds of round number 2 of 6. The 4th fight of the night here at the Auckland War Memorial. Podis Fight Night brought to you by Culture Kings. And an interesting fight, this one so far, with 2 in the books, Chad Milnes.
Two close rounds, but I feel like Dylan is getting those shots off quite well. John just needs to step up his work rate just a little bit. There's a bit more urgency in his work. At the end of that round, he did start to pick it up, but he's really just got to up his work rate. Sure that in the corner between rounds you have a very experienced Henry Schuster in his corner. The man that trained the likes of Shane Cameron, David Toa. I'm sure he'll give him some good advice coming into the 3rd round. Henry Schuster also training out of the box office.
Good plug, the box office. Get down there. A number of places around Auckland, isn't there, Chad? You can go and sign up.
Yeah. We got a location in Howick, Penrose, and in Grey Lynn. Three gyms.
The website, if people want to check it out?
Theboxoffice.co.nz.
There you go, boxoffice.co.nz.
Yeah.
Cross training in. Might need to get off the road bike, Chad, and get some boxing gloves on, mate.
Yeah, for sure.
Round 3 of 6, Parker against Wright. And again, that head movement from Dylan.
Style's paying really well. That elusive style's really paying well.
And some good combinations from Wright there. He's moving well.
And the good thing for Dylan, he's not actually working that hard. Oh,
big left hand.
And that's the power of John Parker. He is very, very strong.
He felt that too. Huge left hand from John Parker. I think you saw it on the face of Dylan Wright. He said, okay, that's what I've got to deal with. I'll back out for this fight. Good jab, Parker again.
And that's good from John. He hurt Dylan just then, but he's back and he's measured. You know, he's not getting reckless, because if he does get reckless, Dylan is the guy to make you pay for that.
Trying to hunt him down, and Dylan firing back. Good combinations, lands the left on the chin of John Parker. Holly McMath up next against Michelle Preston. Penultimate fight of the evening. And of course, Jerome Pampalone against Nick Charlompos. The main event of the evening is...
Really looking forward to that fight. I know the boys really well. I actually started boxing with Nick. It's good action in this round 3. The boys again warmed up. They're starting to settle into that fight pace. The defense isn't as sharp, so some of those shots are starting to slip through.
Wright got under the defence with the left hand there of Parker before, and Parker is using the jab nicely. Trying to find that range for the big shot. He's felt the power of the left. Right hook from Parker. Gets out of the road, does Dylan Wright.
The head defense is serving him really well in this fight. And his punches he throws, I like, you know, he doesn't overcommit to too much of his shots, Dylan. When he throws his punches, he'll throw them in 3s and 4s, but he won't overcommit. He'll keep his feet under him. He'll throw accurate, simple punches. He doesn't get carried away.
Winding down the clock in round 3 of 6. John Parker, Dylan Wright. Fans like what they see. It's been an eventful night here at the Auckland Memorial Museum. Kaikara France in the house, so too that man, Joseph Parker, and here's his brother. Chad, what did you make of this round?
This was an interesting round. Dylan was landing the majority of the clean shots, but then you had that big punch from John, and this is pro boxing. That counts a lot. That big shot that hurt him, that counts a lot for the judges. That leaves a big impression. It's a hard round to score. You might even go for John in that round because of that big punch.
Not a bad man to have in your corner, the former WBO World Heavyweight Champion, of course, training these days in the UK. Out of Tyson Fury's gym with Andy Lee. Big smile on his face, and we congratulate Joseph Parker and his wife and the family, expecting their 4th child. Exciting times.
What an experience that would be training in the Fury camp. He must be soaking up so much. I actually had a little conversation with John yesterday at the weigh-in, and he was showing me some of the things around footwork that Tyson's been teaching him, and just, wow, those little things that can make a difference.
And also, hey mate, use the gym. Just turn the lights off when you leave Tyson Fury's gym. But these boys here, Dylan Wright, John Parker, starting to let the hands go. Looks measured though, doesn't he, John Parker, in his work?
Very patient. He's waiting for his moment to pounce with those big punches. What we saw earlier from Dylan there, he switched southpaw. He has been known to switch. He switches between the right and left-handed stance. Just to add a little bit more to his game.
Touched him with the jab. Doesn't bother Wright, keeps moving forward.
You can see there, Dylan, he's really inviting those punches. He really wants John to go for it so he can work those counter shots.
Down to the body, Wright backs up Parker. He's cutting a composed figure in the ring at the moment.
Past the halfway point of this fight. I think John really needs to lift his work rate a little bit more and start taking a few more chances with Dylan. Dylan just starting to rack up those points over these rounds. Just a little bit busier. You know, he's not landing massive punches, but he is landing. He is scoring points. And in those quiet rounds, the judges are going to favor the man that is making the fight.
Good left hand from John Parker.
That's more of what John needs to do.
.45 seconds remain in round 4 of 6. This is the 4th fight of the evening here in Auckland. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on Sky Sport. Podis Fight Night brought to you by Culture Kings. Thanks to Green Soda, Stuff For You, Duval Group. Holly McMath, Michelle Preston on the way next. Chad Milne's in the house with me, Jeff McTainch. We thank David Light for his time earlier.
Dave just coming back from a big win over in Miami, knocking out Anthony Martinez in the first round to win a WBO International Cruiserweight title. He's someone to watch. He's someone to watch from New Zealand boxing. He's not far away from his own title shot, major title shot. And, you know, he's kind of like he's a dark horse, you know. Not massively well known, but, man, that guy can go right to the top. Technically very sound, physically strong, big for the weight.
Lawrence Okoli out of Great Britain, the Cruiserweight World Champion. That is who David Light could get a shot at some point. Fashioning the same record, but got a fight on our hands here. What did you make of this round here, Chad Milnes?
I liked that from John there. He was a little bit more aggressive. He started to take more chances. We're past that halfway point, and I feel like the early rounds are leaning towards Dylan Wright. So John needs to start to up that work rate and let those hands go, which he is starting to do in the latter half of this round. Bit of roughhouse tactics, he needs to do that.
Landing the odd shot and scoring the points, Dylan Wright, but I'd like to see him follow up with a few more combinations perhaps.
That's it, yeah, he's just got to let his hands go. He's sort of focusing too much on the single jabs and he's not doing enough off that jab. The jab sets the other punches up and he's relying too much on just throwing the jab. He needs to throw more than that. Like Dylan, he flicks up the jab, but when he sees the moment, he pounces back with 3 or 4 shots. That's it, better
Busy.
from John.
John Parker busy in the middle of the ring here. Fast start to round number 5 for both of these men.
It's good head movement there from Dylan. It's not easy standing in front of a big puncher like John Parker with your hands down, watching the punches zip past you.
Swings with the left hook. Dylan Wright just misses the nose of John Parker. Here's a rip to the body. Mixing it up nicely, Wright. Not afraid to keep coming forward to the power of Parker.
Nice right hand counter there from John.
Just batting these punches away right from John Parker, standing right in front of him, looking for a big shot here.
Dylan comes back. He's starting to up his work rate again. He's starting to take the momentum back off John after John's flurry earlier in the round. Good right hand there.
Oh, swinging wildly with the right again. Dylan Wright, some heavy power behind that.
Sold out on that right hand.
They call him heavy hands for a reason. A man out of Auckland. Peach boxing.
Another fighter out of the Peach stable. Got a few of those on tonight. One of the leading gyms in the country.
Isaac Peach has
not
done a wonderful job, yeah.
The leading gym in the country right now. Things starting to heat up in this 5th round. We're in that territory on from the last fight. There was only 4 rounds last time. Now we're in round. Big right hand.
Massive one from Dylan Wright there. He felt that, John Parker. Now, is this the opening Dylan Wright needs in the penultimate round?
Hard start from John, but that punch would have stolen the judge's eyes to finish this round.
Working the jab nicely to follow up. 20 seconds remain in round 5. Wright with the money shot.
Good counter punch there from Dylan. Good right hand from Dylan.
Beautiful counter punching from Dylan Wright tonight against John Parker. We'll go to the final round to decide this one. Dylan Wright landing an absolute beauty on John Parker in that 5th.
Isaac Peach really happy coming out of that corner. Do sense the fighter slipping away from John there. We don't know what the judges think, but he's going to really have to come out hard in this last round.
Plenty of action in this 5th round, and he did feel the power, didn't he, of Dylan Wright?
Yeah, he felt his heavy hands.
A few thoughts from Joseph Parker for his brother. This fight brought to you by the folks at Staff for You.
Let's see if we see any urgency from the Parker corner. Was that last round? Do get a sense that Dylan is ahead. Isaac Peach certainly feels so.
He's got wind in his sails now, Dylan Wright. He knows Parker felt that one in the last round. He's come out with some fast hands here.
Good defense there from Dylan. Good jab. John really needs to up his work rate. Almost a minute down in this last round.
Dylan Wright growing a confidence. Parker still throwing combinations, but he's backing him up here, right? In the centre of the ring they go. Still good energy from Wright, the double jab to the body. Good head movement, now throwing the combinations.
Another good flurry. Dylan Wright finishing really strong in this fight.
To the body again if Parker tries for the one over the top.
Halfway point in round 6. Dylan inviting the punches from John. Looking for another counter punch.
Biding his time here. Parker starting to throw some big shots. Trying to find one flashing over the
right
top
hand
from Dylan Wright. What a fight it's been.
Big right hand from John there.
Parker sends one back. Under a minute remaining in this fight. Can Wright square the ledger after the defeat last week? Or does John Parker have a big punch to pull out in the final 30 seconds of this fight?
He needs to put his foot down, last 30.
Little short right there from Parker. Pops straight up to his right.
Both lads have taken some big punches in this fight, but their chins have held up pretty well.
It's been some contest. The final 10 seconds, the crowd will applaud here at Auckland's War Memorial Museum. John Parker and Dylan Wright go the distance in Auckland.
The Peach Corner confident. Zaza comes in, raises the hand at Dylan.
We look at the final round here, Chad, and he was busier, wasn't he? You felt, Dylan Wright.
Yeah, John, both boys kind of worked at a similar kind of pace, but Dylan started out, he was making a bit more of the fight. He landed those good shots there. And like he came out confident in that last round and worked a little bit more than John. John just didn't put his foot down and try and just didn't sense that urgency in this last round. Perhaps feeling the pace of the fight. I mean, it was the last round.
Dylan Wright looking to improve his record to 3-6. John Parker hoping to make it 9-0.
Quite a good performance from Dylan. I mean, if you look at his record 2-6, you wouldn't think a performance like that would come from a record like that. You know, you have John who's undefeated. You'd look at it on paper and think it'd be a mismatch.
Really grueling over 6 rounds.
Both men came to fight tonight. Dylan Wright, they call him heavy hands for a reason.
And we go to the scorecard
5th round
to decide one of our co-feature bouts
good
tonight.
blow to John
Podis
Parker's
Boxing
shin.
Fight Night here, live on Sky Sport 3 and the Auckland Memorial Museum. Judge 1 scores the fight 59-55, Judge 2 59-55, and Judge 3 58-56. And your winner by unanimous points decision, fighting out of the blue corner, Dylan Heavy Hand